look at angle 2. Okay, so it's coming from the backhand. Okay, so again, I'm going to go for that same thing there, that same tendon there. Bang. Right? I'm going to try and get it a medium. 1. Now I'm going to, yeah, we'll go for the bicep here. 1, 2. I'm going to hook that and open this up, cut here and go that way. Okay? So there is a risk here of that hitting me, my femoral artery, my gut, whatever. Right? So as I do this, I do a foot replacement, which moves my body around the arc of that blade. Okay? Usually, because the blade's falling at this point, usually, should be, ideally. Sure. But maybe he has a thick leather jacket that I don't get the tendons, whatever, right? So 1, I step back and out, moves me around the arc of that. So 1, 2, this opens that up, then take this and go. Right? In theory, at this point, I've severed those tendons, probably his brachial artery, and his throat, his trachea, right? Or yes, trachea. Okay, so again, so 1, 2, switch my feet as I do that. 3. We'll do 2 on 5 here. First one I go outside, second one I go inside. Right? On a center line, so I sort of discussed this with a couple of people here. Our ideal is we want to go outside if we can, right? Sometimes the immediacy prevents that. You know, I don't realize he's about to attack me. Maybe I get blind, whatever. And he comes in with and I go, oh, and I end up inside. Okay, fine. That happens. Sometimes all of his buddies are there, right? So I don't want to go over here and give my back to them. Now, ideally, I want to go this way and get, you know. So sometimes the situation will dictate it. Sometimes the suddenness of it will dictate it. Sometimes I just go that way, right? Sometimes that's like, if I'm standing like this, I'm going to go that way because it requires 2 steps for me to get going this way and only 1 to get going this way, just how my body weight was positioned, right? So ultimately, I want to be on the outside, but I can't always get there first. If he's coming with a wide hook, angle 1, whatever, then I don't have much choice but to be on the inside. Right? There are ways I can get outside, but they're all much riskier than just attacking the inside. Okay? The danger with the inside, of course, is that he's got all this stuff he can reach me with. Right? When I get on the outside, all that becomes much more difficult to get to me. Right? And I can control his axis a bit more. I can prevent him from kicking with that foot. I've got a lot more control, both directly and indirectly, from the outside. When it's a really tight attack, like from here, yeah, a little tighter, yeah. Now here, going inside is going to be really risky, right? It's for the same reason, or a backhand attack, same thing. Really risky to get inside, right? So I'm going outside, which is where I want to be, but at this point, he's left me very little choice. Center line attacks, though, whether it's high, low, whatever, now it's center line. I can go this way, I can go this way. There's not really, within the structure, there's not a preference. I have a personal preference of outside, but I can go either way. So now if it's 12 and all his buddies are there, I can go, okay, fine, I'm going this way, right? So we'll do 1 from outside, 1 from inside on the 5. On 1 and 2, you pretty much have to start inside or outside. Right? So when I go outside, I'm going to pass this parry and sever the bicep again, right? I'm going to scoop and then go for the common iliac, right? And in the seal-out in my background, we call this the button. It's just inside where the hip bone comes over, just inside of that in a word I always screw up, inguinal crease, right? It's right in there, and everybody does that when you do it, right? There's a big bundle of nerves and stuff there, and everybody goes dunk when they get hit there. It's even more pronounced when you do it with a pointed knee. And when we're talking blades, there's also a whole bunch of arteries that run through there. Your femoral artery runs through there before it gets to your leg, right? So sticking a blade in there can be fatal, right? So 1, 2, 3, and run. Okay. So on this one, since I haven't done anything that's probably going to disarm him, I either want to maintain really tight control here, or I want to pop and then do this as I exit, okay? To sever those tendons again. All right, so we'll turn. So, one, and as I go here, I want to switch my hands. The term we always used for it was tappy, which came from traditional martial arts. So if I just do this, I leave my high line open, right? And he can cut me. I don't want that, right? So I could do something like this, a pin, right? But if when I go through here, I want to switch so that my high line stays covered, and this is now covering my low line, okay? So 1, 2, and I'm again trapping this down towards him as I do this, insert into the button, right? And then I take the tendons at the wrist and exit. Okay? Let's talk about the spin for a second, okay? If you watch people use karambit, you often see them do this, right? However, and it's possible you can train yourself to do it reasonably well. I've never dinged myself, even with a trainer. However, I have 2 friends at least who have done this with a live blade. 3.
I was gonna say it's 4 because I've done it. Right here in my,
and you know, it goes in the bone. It's really, really bad, right?
I got a slice in my jacket.
Right. So now when I'm doing it on something, okay, fine. I can do that with relative impunity. But if I miss, now I'm back to this place. Not good, right? So when I spin, it's controlled. I extend my thumb along the line of the ring so that it stops right there. Right? Bang. Okay? Now, if I miss, no, great, nothing happens. If I don't, if you hit somewhere in the middle, there's still that momentum, and you get that extra impact in it. Right? But at the very least, it's going to stick there. Right? So extend that thumb. And this also in training gives you better control. Because we'll use the meaty part of your arm. This is might sting a little bit. Because this really sucks after time and time again. Doing this gives me control, and I can stop it and then move and do what I want to do. Okay? So be aware of that. I don't know how common that is, but I learned it from my instructor. I've seen it in Sayat Kali, from some other places, but yeah, I think it's a really good habit to get into. And ultimately, what you're really trying to do with this, you might be hooking something, but you're extending your reach, right? If I'm out here and I want to hit this, I can just barely reach that. Now, I can get something really solid, okay? After this, it's moving slow, it's much more controlled. This is okay. If you're uncomfortable with that, then you can drop it the other way, right? And now you're at a very low risk of ever doing something wrong. I rarely use the word wrong, but yeah, I'm just going to say that's wrong. Okay, so we're going inside. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to rip as I move out. Right? And yeah, in training I have to slide it up some, right? So 1, 2, rip. Okay? And again, just like before, I don't want to move this very much. Right? I want to move him more than I move this. Right? This is just barely moving. This gives me, again, a balance disruption. Here, I'm shoving him away and off balance. Right? So, and if we start talking about blood shields, 1, 2, this is going to create potentially, from what I've been told, a 30-ish foot spray.
Kill Bill spray.
Yeah. Right? And a huge amount of gush if I catch the jugular as well. There will be a bunch of gush out this way. This keeps all that off of me, or at least a large portion of it, right? So, 1, 2, 3.